Hello, Steemits. Hello, YouTube. Crypto G here, coming at you with another Pixlr video tutorial. Today I wanted to talk about text and doing a couple of working with text basically in Pixlr and doing a couple of simple text effects that can make your banners and pictures stand out. Okay, so before I do that, I want to give you a little bonus. I'm going to go to the image that we were working with. Oh, pardon me, not new image. I want to go to open image that we were working with yesterday in the 3D tutorial. This lovely image of the biker jumping out of a TV that we created. At the end, we used a water effect and a marquee, and I actually completely forgot that I wanted to end it with talking about the bloat and pinch tool, because they're very, very good tools. So, you know, he's popping out of that screen, so we might say there might kind of been a sort of kind of sucking. So we would have done something like that. If you can kind of see what I did there, I'll just undo that. So you can see there, see how it warps there. I don't want to catch his toe because his toe is already out of the screen. Control Z. Or we could have done bloat, and bloat kind of pops it out. So that would have been quite nice, I think, actually, to have done something along those lines. I'm not going to do it now, to kind of show him, to show him kind of popping out of the screen. So anyway, that's a little bonus for you. Play around with the bloat and pinch tool if you followed me with that image, or you do a similar image. So I'm not going to save that. Right, let's come to text. Text here, we've got, what I've done here is I simply went File, New Image. I named the image tutorial banner. I changed the size with the slider here. I think I went to sort of 1350. Actually, 1500 is better, so I'm going to do that. Let's call it Tutorial Banner 2. Tutorial Banner 2. Make it transparent. Very important you make transparent. And then you hit OK. Okay, so let's just close that down, the original one. Right, so right, here we go. So the things to think about when you're working with text. The first thing is, obviously, to get some text, you just simply click the A, click on there. If you make a mistake, oh, I didn't want to actually put any text, you just simply hit OK, and it's gone. If you do click on and type something, it will be, a layer will be called, oh sorry, hang on, okay, that. The layer will be called what you have just done it, and it will add to the layer. So you see we had layer 0 there, but then I hit text, type something, creates a new layer. So each time we hit text, creates a new layer. So that's important just simply because if you go to click over the text to edit it, you'll end up doing this and creating a new layer, but that's fine as long as you don't type anything and you hit OK, it'll disappear, and then you have to find your text here on the layer. Then, and only then, I've lost my mouse, then and only then can you click on the text, move it around, change the style, size, alignment, and of course font. Okay, so let's just OK that. We're going to just get rid of these layers here. Delete, delete, delete. Let's go on to the next part of text. So I'm going to put something down here. I'm just going to go votes for Crypto G, because everybody should do that. So I'm going to put a return statement just before the word Crypto G. Just come back, return statement. I'm going to make the color black. Okie dokie. I'm going to make the size, I don't know, about 30. It doesn't really need to be that big. 45, that's cool. regular style. Oh, let's go italic for the hell of it. And say, okay, right, now let's go and find that image. It's gone really small. It's gone double small. Where have you gone? Okay, and now we see I've created a new image. So what I'm going to do is undo that because my text seems to have disappeared. It's very strange. Very strange. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. Control Z. Z. Okay, let's start again. No, let's start again. Okay, so text. Vote for Pixlr. Hit return. No idea what happened there. Sometimes these things happen. I think it's because I made it so small in relation to the canvas that it couldn't actually see. Couldn't see the text, but you know, it's not that small there. Very strange. But anyway, there we go. There it is. Vote for CryptoG, and as you can see, it's called itself Vote for. I'll rename it to just simply Vote. Hit return. I'm going to use this layer as my background. Just background. And I'm going to fill it in with a different color. I'm going to give it that sort of color. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. Okie dokie. And fill. Boom. Vote for CryptoG. There we go. So now I might want to manipulate the text a little bit. So let's go to the text. Zoom in. Probably better to centralize that, actually. Actually, let's turn that off. Right, I didn't want to do that yet, but it's perfect time to talk about it. So yeah, layer styles. If we go to layer styles, we can see we can add a drop shadow. And we should be able to manipulate that drop shadow, actually. Oh no, it's only the inner shadow we can do. The drop shadow. Oh, the drop shadow. Oh, there we go. The drop shadow is there. It just wasn't giving me the options straight away. So we can change the opacity. It's obviously how heavy it is. Change the distance from the letters, so we can bring them sort of a lot there, or miles away. And that's a different effect. Obviously, if you want it to sort of look a little bit 3D, like the letters are jumping out at you, you bring them quite close. And then the size, which is actually talking about the spread. I don't know why they've called it size. It's spread is what they should have called it, I think. Let me turn that up to 100 so you can see what's happening. There you see how it gets more diffused, more blown out, blurry, and gone. So yeah, let's give it something like that. That's quite nice. And you can change the angle. I'm not going to change the angle. I'm quite happy with that, but you can change the angle around, and you should be able to. And you should be able to just put in there, yeah, and type. There we go. And of course, change the color if we want. So I'm going to change the color to there. I like getting into approximations, then it gives you a couple of options over here, as you can see. Let's go for that kind of lilac-y color. Okie dokie. And then we've just got others, so I'm going to take off this for now. Go down here, and as you can see, it should. Yeah, it doesn't save it. It doesn't save it. So once you've set it, set it how you want. So I'm going to just, I'm going to go on to inner shadow for now because I wanted to show you inner shadow. Inner shadow, hang on, let's just cancel that so we can get closer. So you can have a look at what inner shadow is doing. Layer style. Here we go. So inner shadow is a little bit different. So I'm going to turn that up to 100 so we can see it. And if you look on the inner letters, you should see an inner shadow. These might not be the best letters to do it with, actually. Saying that, I'm just going to change it to a really lurid color so that we can see the shadow nicely. Okay. So yeah, perhaps this isn't the best because it basically puts them inside the lettering, and it kind of works quite nicely for certain letters. That kind of looks okay, actually. That kind of looks okay. Yeah, that kind of looks okay. As you can see there, look, you see how it kind of pushes the black out and kind of takes over. You know, it becomes the lettering, and I kind of like that, actually. I've never sort of played around with inner shadow that much. I'm always quite subtle with it, but you know, when you do these quite big dramatic changes, you've got quite a lot of range, and that could be quite nice. Okay, so I'm going to actually okay that. I'm going to okay that, and you know, you can just keep going on. I'll leave it to you to have a look here, but you just come over to the layer menu on the right, make sure you're on the layer you want to actually manipulate, click layer styles, and then you've got loads of other things. That we've got an outer glow there, which could be quite nice. We've got a bevel, but you know, have a play around with all of these. I'm going to put just an outer glow just because we're just doing a silly tutorial. There we go. Let's have a highlight color of that. Bang. Okay, so that's the very basics with working with text. Now, you could, if you wanted to, could think, okay, well, I just need this as a transparent anyway. I'm quite happy with those layer styles that I've put on, and yeah, that's it. So in that case, you would just simply say File, Save, and do all the usual, you know, save it to wherever you want as a PNG so that you keep the transparent quality, and then yeah, you'll be able to post that wherever you want, and on you go. Or you might want to add a background and do other stuff, and you know, start putting on filters and masks and all of that, which we'll cover in later text lessons. But just before I go, because we've been long enough now, you've seen this kind of no entry sign here, and that's because I added a background. Yeah, I added a background to the project. So yeah, so I've added this background, and that now means that Pixlr wants to make calculations to, you know, it knows that we all probably want to start doing stuff and what have you, but it's saying, no, I'm not going to let you work on this text layer. No matter what you do, you just cannot do it. And the reason is it has to be rasterized, like a Rastaman. Basically, rasterized stands for raster graphics as opposed to vector graphics. All graphics that kind of come in to Pixlr and are created in Pixlr are created vector, which is a very smooth way of creating text. However, if you want to put filters and what have you, it needs to treat this text as pixels, as individual pixels. So you would come to layer, and you would simply go down to, what's that, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th section under layer styles, and you would say rasterize layer, and it will rasterize it, man. Which doesn't mean it'll take it to Jamaica, it'll mean it'll turn it into pixels, which you'll be able to see. So don't worry after you rasterize it if you think, oh, that all looks all horrible and pixelated. It's fine. You know, it's totally fine. Basically, when you print out and when you save out, you'll see it'll be nice and smooth. So don't worry about that. So off you go now. I think I've kept you for long enough. Go off and do what the sign says. Vote for Crypto G. Vote for Crypto G. I'm Hypnotoad from Futurama. Vote for Crypto G. Vote for Crypto G. So yeah, go off and do that. And in the next lesson, I'll teach you some funky textiles. Okie dokie. See you later. Bye bye.